redemption for House Raven starts here. They were previously humbled by the plundering son of a slugger, the infamous Big Mech Zappa and his mech mob. There he is in the corner. And his growing mech mob is only getting bigger. This war zone is already under heavy shelling by Imperial artillery. But House Raven have to reclaim their lost honour, and as soon as this war party was identified as Zappa's own, they're throwing caution to the wind and they're going to march through the deadly rain for a chance at settling the score. So we're going to be playing open play here, and we've pulled some open war cards for the mission. So we're playing Dawn of War deployment, just as a regular deployment. I'm sure everyone's familiar with that already. So the objective is supply cache. So this is exactly the same one that we were playing at the last time. So it's only fitting in this rematch that we'll go again. So there's 6 objectives on the battlefield, and if you control any objectives, you roll a d6, and on a 6, that is the sole objective, and all of the objectives must go, and that's the only one that matters. So for instance, Imperial Knights are holding 2 here already. If we roll a 6 for this one, let's say, this is the objective and all others are removed. So we'll go through that when we start doing objectives. So there are 6 placed. The crates there are going to act as 1. The black ones here are going to act as 1. And then the third are these oil drums here. For the Orks, they've got 3 as well. So they've got a supply dump here. We've got 1 here just in the middle of this deadly vehicles here, and then 1 just outside this building, and there's some killer cans on the other side of the wall here, just sneakily moseying on in, and this one's already carving up the floor with these killer can claw. So there's the 6 objectives, or potentially objectives, and then we pull a twist card as well. So because this war zone is under shelling already, we're using the Orbital Debris twist. So at the start of each player's turn, you roll 3 dice. For each 6 that you roll, you select an enemy unit and they'll suffer D3 mortal wounds. So a deadly war zone here. The shelling is already underway, but both sides locked in a grudge match, so that's going to possibly play a part. So a deadly rain coming in. This is the House Raven force for this encounter. So we've got 3 knights and 2 newly painted warglaives. So of course they're from House Raven. That's the heraldry. We've got Romulus II taking charge. So he's Romulus II because if you've seen the first game, we know what happens to Romulus I. So this is the brother or some relation to Romulus the original. So this is Romulus II in the same heraldry from that same family. So he's the warlord, and then we've got so he's an errant, and then we've got a gallant, and then we've got a crusader. So of course he's got the thermal spear, he's got a stubber, he's got a missile pod, the storm spear missile pod. He's got one as well, and 2 hand-to-hand weapons with a stubber, and then my crusader with a battle cannon, the Avenger Gatling cannon, and the Icarus auto cannon, and then the warglaives just as standard with the thermal spears and the melter gun on top. So because we are from House Raven, we get to advance and shoot all weapons without penalty. So they're pretty fast movers, these ones. And then what we've also done is we've spent some command points to try and get more rules squeezed in for more characters in the force. So command points wise, we've got 3 for being battle forged, and then 6 with the brand new FAQ command points for a nice household detachment, I think it's called. So we're instantly going to blow 3 on Exalted Court to make these 2 knights characters and give them a warlord trait each. And then we're going to use an extra command point for heirlooms of the household. We're going to give this guy an extra relic. So he's going to have one because he's the warlord, and he's going to have another. So Romulus II, he's got the Helm Dominatus for his relic. So it means he selects an enemy unit within 24 inches of him, and then you can do once per battle round. It can be in the shooting phase or fight phase. So you select a target within 24 inches of him, and any warglaives in this situation are within 6 of him. They get a +1 to hit. So very good if you're trying to get some crucial hits in with your thermal spears. So that's what he's got for his relic. For his warlord trait, he's got Iron Bulwark, which means he's got a 4+ invulnerable save for his Iron Shield. And the Knight Gallant, he's got the Warlord trait for the Knight Seneschal, so he's got +1 attack, so loads of attacks coming from him. And then to help him out with his attacks, he's going to have that extra relic, and it's going to be the Banner and Violate. So he's going to reroll 1s in combat, and he's also going to allow any household Raven within 6 to reroll 1s in combat. So he's a bit of a beast if you let him get in there. He hits on a 2 these days as well, very, very important to note. And then the Crusader, he's not going to have a relic, but what he does have is a Warlord trait. He's got a Gatling cannon that we're going to nominate, and that's going to be blessed by the Sacristans. So if you roll a 6 to wound, it's a mortal wound in addition to any other wounds. So it sort of acts like a relic, but it's a Warlord trait, if you will. So pretty good when you got a lot of shots coming out of that gun. Okay, so we spent a lot of command points to make that happen, 4 to be exact. So we've got 5 left, but it will be worth it in the end, because having those extra rerolls just stops you from using command rerolls anyway. So hopefully we'll get to see some of the more flavoursome stratagems come into play.
Okay, he's back, folks. Zappa, the Arch Mech, and there he is on top of his Stomper. And we've got 2 Gorkanauts, well, 1 Gorkanaut and a Morkanaut. The Morkanaut has a custom force field. It offers a 5+ invulnerable save and a bubble of 9 inches. And we have 2 Death Dreads. They're armed with power claws fully, and a unit of killer cans with Grotzukas and a big shooter. And then we have another mob of killer cans with rockets and a big shooter.
Okay, so the return of Zappa. So we're using them almost exactly like we did before. So we're going to use them for a HQ for this detachment. Of course, he's normally a Lord of War, but he's Zappa, so he's going to be a HQ. So what that's going to mean is he's leading a heavy support detachment, so we're going to give them 3 command points just for something to play with, and then 3 for being battle forged as well, just for narrative purposes, because why wouldn't you? And Zappa, he's going to have the same Warlord trait as he did the last time in his outing, because it worked for him. He's going to have Tenacious Survivor, so he's going to ignore wounds on a 6+, and then just to make things a little bit extra special, just to give the Orks a stratagem to play with before the Ork Codex comes out, we're going to give the Stomper access to the Daka stratagem. So normally it's only for infantry, but we're going to allow Zappa to have it because he's just a special kind of guy. He's earned it. And so deployment's pretty easy for the Imperial Knight. We've got the Crusader on the left, we've got in the centre the Warlord Romulus II and his 2 understudies, and then we've got the Knight Gallant on the right. So the Orks on the left here, we've got that sneaky killer can unit under the building that we saw before, hoping that this objective's going to turn up. And then we've got medium push in the centre here. We've got 3 killer cans with the rockets, and then they're supported by Morkanaut, and then the big hitters in the corner here. So we've got the Zappa's Stomper in the corner, protected by the Morkanaut here with the custom force field. So if you're within 9 inches of that bubble, you get an invulnerable 5 save, so it's the Ork version of an ion shield. And then the 2 Death Dreads in the corner here, so a big push from this road as Zappa's leading the way up. He's got his coordinates off a little bit, that's why he's off to the right, but he'll be joining the fight soon enough, I bet. Okay, it's time to begin. It's the sacred roll for who goes first. So the Knights finished first, but do play that extended rule from the Charter Approved books. So the Imperial Knights will get a +1 to the dice. So Imperial Knights get a 3 after that +1, and the Orks get a 4. So the Orks will go first, but can we steal the initiative? That's a cocked eye in the cutter. No, right, so the Orks will go first. Here comes Mr. Stompy.
Stomp.
Okay, so Orks take turn 1. So before anything happens, we need to do the objective rules. So on a 6, this objective, or which one do you want to do first? Because actually it's your choice. So you want to do that one? Okay, so on a 6, it's that objective. It's a 5. The one in the centre is a 3. Okay, now at the start of the turn as well, we've got Orbital Debris, which is a twist. So roll 3 dice. Any 6s could be trouble. There's 1 6, so he gets 1 6, he gets to select 1 target, and it's D3 mortal wounds. So which knight would you like to drop that shell on?
This one here.
Right, the centre knight, it's the Romulus 2 of
To
the
the
second. So D3 mortal wounds for Romulus the second.
D3 mortal wounds.
Just the one. Got away. Right, so Zappa's leading his boys straight out into the fight. So Zappa moves his 12 right into the knight's face. He's very aggressive. And then his support vehicles, they're all advanced. So they can't shoot, but he's gone far enough to still give Zappa the invulnerable 5 save from the custom force field. That's big licks there. The cans step forward. They're now in range with their little rockets, but these are vicious little weapons. Cockanaut is in tow, and then the cans are just moving out to support. So they're still controlling that objective and this one, and of course their third one. So let's see what the Orks are going to churn out in the Dagger phase. Okay, shooting phase. So Zappa, he's wasting no time. He looks at Romulus the second and thinks, "Oi, I've not killed you before, have I?" So he's going to fire all of his weapons into the knight here, and he's going to play the dagger stratagem. Of course, just to reiterate, you can't normally play it on vehicles, but because he's Zappa, he gets to do it because he says so. So he's going to fire the death cannon first, so it's D6 shots. So he's going to see what he gets here. He's getting 2 shots. So command point reroll his mullen over here. Try and get more shots out of that big gun. Is he going to do it, or is he happy with these 2?
Well, he's taking 2.
Right, he's taking 2, right. So 5s to hit. His tower, nope, both miss. That is what happens when you're an Ork. So he's going to fire his super rockets off.
Super rockets.
Right, so he's got D3 shots on the super rocket.
Just one at a time.
Yep. So he's getting 2 shots from the super rocket and needs to hit on 5s. This is the weight of the Orks. Misses both. He talks a big game, does Zappa. He just kind of hit a barn door. Right, so he's going to open up with the big shooters.
Big shooters.
Right, so he's actually got 5 on this. He's got 2 on his chainsaw arm. He's got 1 on his front, 1 on his shoulder, and 1 on the back, which you can still fire in this edition. So there's 5 in total, so that's 15 big shooter shots. So any 6s are going to produce another potential chance to hit.
1 6.
And there's a 5 in there, and see.
There's a hit yet.
Okay, so you want another dice to try and hit with dagger. No, right, so 2 hits from the big shooters.
Too much.
But it is 5s to wound knights because it is strength 5, so it's not too bad against knights. Fallen foul of this many times, but no wounds. Now it's time for the super Gatler. So 2d6 shots with this. And this is strength 7, AP minus 2. So he's getting a big whopping 11. Okay, 11 shots coming his way from the Stomper. Here we go. 5s to hit, but again 6s with the dagger.
Got 2 6s there.
So 2 6s and 3 5s, so 2 extra shots to try and make.
There's another one.
And another hit. Right. So there's 6 hits in total. Again, strength 7, AP minus 2. Tell you what, we didn't declare our ion shields, but we would have because of the death cannon.
We'll let you.
Okay, thank you. What a kind Ork. So yeah, 1 command point down for the Imperial Knights because I'm busy narrating. I forgot about the ion shield. So he's got the iron bulwark, so he's got an invulnerable 3 now. So here he goes with the super thing. So he's got 5s to wound. So he's got 3 wounds there in the distance. So it's AP minus 2, but again with the invulnerable save on 3s, which we make them all comfortably. Okay, so behind Zappa is the Morganaut. He can see the Crusader Knight, so he can fire off 2 rockets. He's going to have to hit on 6s since he advanced, but double 3 won't cut the mustard there. Right, he's got a quad big shooter as well that can try and plough into him, so again 6s because it's advanced, so 2 hits there, 5s to wound. Just do them in that little gap there. So 1 wound. This is what chips the wounds off the knights in the past, so it needs a 3. Makes a save on a 5, comfortable save. Alright, the cans. This is something different from these. Alright, we've got the killer cans up next. They're going to fire all of their shots into this warglaive. So the grots operate these little machines, so they hit on 4s. So the big shooters are in yellow, so 1 miss from the rocket there. and the rocket wounds, luckily. And we need to save on 5s here because it's AP -2 and a flat 3 damage. We'll make it on 5. We're getting some good saves today. The rockets are not finding the target. Alright, the Gorgonaut, he's going to shoot all of these shots where they're going to go.
As a big guy?
Into Romulus II. Okay, so from the Death Star Mega Shooter, there's 3d6 shots. So that is 15 shots, not bad. But can he hit? So he's going to be hitting on 5s. He did just move normally.
He will.
So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Strength 6, so he's needing 5 to wound. He gets 2 and it's AP -1, but again, with our Ion Shield, we're saving on 3s, invulnerable. Okay, fill 1, it's only 1 damage, so we're taking our 2nd wound on this knight. And then he's got his 2 rockets. Hitting on 5s, these are the dangerous ones. He gets 1 hit and needs a 4, doesn't get it.
Command point reroll.
Yeah, command point reroll. See if he can get a 4. No. So another command point down for the Orks. Right, so it's just the big shooters, the quad big shooters left on the top. Get 12 shots from the big shooters. And that is 3 hits, we can see. Yep, and then 5s again. The big shooters are surprisingly good.
Oh.
Just like that, 3 wounds. Okay, 7 on 3s. So Orks find a way against the Ion Shield. And we do save this time. Normally it's the big shooters that really whittle us down. Okay, so that normally would be the end of the shooting phase, but because we haven't used the Stomper in a while, we just remembered you can fire the Super Gatler off twice, so it can fire again on a 2+. So that's what he's going to do at the same target, because that's what he declared.
The water runs out of ammo as well.
Yeah, so he doesn't want a 1.
It's a 6.
And he gets a 6, right, so he gets to fire it again. So it's 2d6 shots. Strength 7, AP -1, so only 4. And yeah, that's good. 3 hits. So strength 7, so needing 5s again. And doesn't get anything. Right. So he's not loading the ammo in fast enough, that little grot sitting on the top. Okay, then we finish the shooting phase off with the big shooter shot at the back there onto the Knight Gallant. Does achieve a wound, so we're going to have to try and save this on a 3. Which we don't, so a wound on the Knight Gallant. Right, House Raven, turn 1, we need to do our rolls. So on the supply cache, we need to see if we can discover it. So is it this one on a 6? It's not, that was a 4. Right, this one on a 6? No. And then this one we'll have to roll for it. We don't particularly want it to be this one, in the shadow of the Stomper.
Yes, we do.
So on a 6, it's this one.
Yay!
Oh, it's destined to be this one. Right, so this one's the most important one. This is where he keeps his special iron jaw in that box somewhere. That's maybe why I want it. So all other objectives are now removed from the table. This is the only one that matters. Right, so this has been discovered. We are going to leave the other objectives actually on the table just because it looks good, but this is the one. But now we're going to do our other roll, so it's time for the, what's it called, Orbital Debris. See if any artillery comes down on the Orks' heads this time. So any 6s will be nice. There's 1 6. So we'll select the Stomper for D3 mortal wounds. It's the full 3, so he takes his first. Wounds does Zappa. Must have been some sort of creeping barrage maybe off the table by some basilisks in support. Okay, almost forgot that he does have his warlord trait of Tenacious Survivor, so he can save on 6s. And he does save 1, he always manages to get one. He's a cheeky orc, he can slap the panels back on there faster than falling them off. So he's taken 2 wounds, has Mr. Zappa. Right, House Raven, start to move. So the Knight Gallant, he's moved all the way around to here. He did advance, but you still can fire with the House Raven rules. So he's only got the missile launcher to fire, so he's not going to miss out that much even if he did. But anyway, we've got the Warglaives, they've stepped to the right here. We're going to try and take on the Killer Cans. The Romulus II, he's stepped back. He's got to stay away from the Stomper. We've got to weaken him a little bit before we can possibly tangle with him. And then the Knight Crusader, he stepped back away from the objective. We're just going to give some ground here. He doesn't like it. There's a bad taste in his mouth, but That's the tactical thing to do. So we've done some stratagems as well. We're doing Order of Companions onto the Crusader. So what he can do is reroll ones. That's basically any dice that he's in control of, reroll ones. So that costs 2 command points to do. So we've only got 2 command points left, but we feel like that's worth it just to try and damage the Stomper a little bit. And then it's not a stratagem, but it's his relic. So he's done his Helm Dominatus, and we've played it on the Killer Cans. So it just means that they're within 24 of him, and because they're within 6 of him, they're going to +1 to roll to hit against the cans. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, here we go then. All guns against the Stomper. So we're going to do the Battle Cannon first. Ooh, 10 shots. Off to a good start from the Knight Crusader. So we're going to reroll ones for him to hit and random dice roll. So we're trying to get some confident shots out of him. So 3s to hit. Reroll ones. There's 3 ones in there. So there's an extra 2 hits. So this one goes astray. Right, so strength 8 versus toughness 8. So we're needing 4s to wound here. Oh, look at that sea of 1s. Normally that would be a tragedy, but not with Order of the Companion. So we'll get these re-rolled. And look at that, 3 convert. Brilliant. So 6 wounds on Zappa. He's going to need to save on 5s. Do it over here. It's a good roll from Zappa. He saved 3 of them. So it's D3 damage each. Not very good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he needs 5. Fail no pain to 6 for his Warlord trait. So he gets 1, 4 wounds taken off him with a battle cannon. Not bad. Right, moving on to the Avenger Gatling cannon. So remember, he's got a Warlord trait. Any 6s to wound are mortal wounds in addition. So this is a good thing to have on this Stomper. Right, so 3s to hit. Reroll 1s because of Order of Companions. Yep, convert that one. So 3 miss. It's 9 hits, and then we're needing 5s to wound against Mr. Zappa. With 6s, mortal wounds in addition. Cock die. So no, right, reroll 1s though. So there's 2 1s to reroll. And no, right, so we'll get 2 wounds. And there are 6s, so there are 2 mortal wounds to save on your Tenacious Survivor Warlord trait. Which makes 1. Makes 1, he always gets 1. So there's 1 wound, and then he needs to actually save these as regular hits. So he needs to save 2 shots on 5, so it's AP -2. Doesn't make them, so it's 2 damage each, so there's 4 Tenacious Survivors to roll for. And he gets 2 this time, he's a star. Right, so another 2 wounds put out on the Stomper. Right, next we shot off our heavy stubbers, clipped off a wound, better than expected. So we're going to go on to the autocannons now, so these hit on 4s because he's not an aerial target, but we're rolling 1s. So 2 hits. And needing 5s to wound. Reroll 1s. Yes, there's a wound, so he's saving on a 4. And he gets it. Right, so that's all from the Knight Crusader. Going to move on to the Gallant now. He's going to fire his Storm Spear Rocket Pod at the Stomper. So 3 missiles. So again, doesn't take any penalty to hit because of House Raven, because he advanced. And of course the Stubber. But so he's hit twice. And needs 4s to wound against the big Stomper. You get 1 AP -2, 7 on 5. Doesn't get it, so it's D6 damage. Ooh, well, it's not a 6, we can say that, but it is a 3. So he needs 3 6s, but he gets 2 6s because of the Tenacious Survivor. So he's told you he could put those panels back on in the fly off. Okay, then we'll fight off the Stubber to no avail. Right, so Romulus the second, he's going to have a go at this mighty beast. So we're going to do the Storm Spear missile again. We only get 1 hit, and we need a 4. We don't get it, that was a 1. And then we've got the thermal cannon. D6 shots. We get 4, and he's hitting on 3s. Gets them all. It's strength 9, so wounds are on 3s. Big licks. Oh, but we only get one, and it's not worth a command point reroll at this stage because we've only got 2 command points left now, so he needs to save on his invulnerable 5 because of the custom force field behind him, which he does. Cheeky. Right, we've got heavy stubber. He hits all 3 with a heavy stubber. All systems to the heavy stubber. And 6s to wound. Doesn't get any. Alright, so that's all the guns we can bring to bear on the Stomper, unless we change tack and we go for the Hellglaives, Warglaives at the Stomper, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep with our tactic here, because if we shoot at the cans, we're at a +1 because of the Helm Dominator, so we're going to keep on that road, and he's going to fire first. We're not in range with the Carapace multigun, just the thermal spear, so he's going to get D3 shots at the cans. We're getting the full 3, which is always welcome. Hits on 2s because of the Helm Dominators. 2 hits, and then wounding on 3s. And we only get 1 wound. So no save, so it's D6, it's the best of 2 actually, because we're at short range, because he's 30-inch range. So we are within 15. And we'll take the 6, so that's a killer can, drop down dead. So does it explode on a 6?
Yeah.
Yep. No, so it goes down quietly. So you can bet that the stubber, that's the, not the stubber, big shooter, that goes down. Right, next thermal spear at the cans again. So how many shots? D3. That's the full 3. Very good from these. 2s to hit. We get 2. And then 3s to wound. We get them both. So no save, and again double dice damage. So if we can get a 5 or a 6 here, that'll kill 1. We do, so that's kill the can. On a 6 explodes. It does explode. So it's a mortal wound on each of those vehicles surrounding. And then the second can, see if we can get another 5 or a 6, and that'll kill the other one. No, so, well actually it does, because he's already taken a wound because it exploded. So there's another can down. Let's see if he explodes as well. No, so the Gorkanaut taking a wound off his little buddy, he's just going up in smoke. Right, so the cans are gone. Just a mortal wound off the fallout of the explosion there on the Gorkanaut. And that is it. That's all the guns we can bring to bear there. There's no points for first blood, and there's no points for warlord kill or line breaker. It's just all about that objective. So that is it for the night. Alright, so now the objective has been found for the Orks. It's just Orbital Debris roll. So again, 3 dice on a 6. Could be some barrage going wrong, but no 6s this time. Alright, the Orks surge forward again. So the Stomper leading the way. He's not quite as confident as he thought he would be. Long-ish charges to make. He doesn't fancy going in alone, so of course the Gorkanaut moves in on his shoulder as well. And then in support, he's still within 9 of the custom force fields. He's still got his invulnerable saves, and he's just waiting for the Death Dreads to come up and help him. He can't go in alone because there's too many heavy hitters there. So the cans at the back, they advance out of the building. They're trying to run up just to add bodies to the fray, and that's about it. So we did measure the charges that are going to have to happen in the future here. So you would need an 8 on the dice to get to the Warglaive, and you would need a 10 on the dice to get to the Gallant. So those are the options that are available to them. But first, it's the shooting phase. Okay, Zappa, he's had a word with his onboard grots to load the right ammunition into the gun this time, not the rubber bullets. And he's still got eyes for Romulus II. You can see he's actually just pointing at him out the turret. He says, I want him. I want him dead, boys. So he's played the data stratagem again. Just to reiterate, you can't normally do it on big or on any vehicles at all. It's for infantry, but for this game, he gets it right. So he's gonna have data. He's firing all shots here. So the def cannon first. How many shots? Just the one. Again, he's
what a wazzock.
all shirt, no trousers. So is he going to use a command point reroll there to save face, or is he just going to keep with the one?
Yeah, I'll see the other one.
Staying with the one. So he believes in this shot. So he needs to hit on a 5. He does hit. Wow, that's what happens when you're the Orcs. If you believe in it, it'll happen. So it's strength 10. So he's going to wound on 3. But he just doesn't wound. Oh, why's that way?
Command reroll.
Alright, command reroll on this one. He does get it, right. So we did do ion shields again when he declared his targets, because all the guns are going at him. So we did it then. So we're down to 1 command point left for the Imperial Knights. Got 1 left, so that means with our Warlord trait and the rotate ion shields, we've got an invulnerable 3 save again. Which we fail, so we don't want to command point reroll that because we need to keep 1 in hand really. So it's D6 damage. So that shot that he believed in may come to pass, but it's only a 1. He just fired a big shooter shot at him. That's what happened out of that massive gun. He just out dribbled a pitiful little bullet. But it was loud.
It's a def cannon.
Right, up steps the super gatler at Romulus, so it's 2d6 shots. Oh my god. Yeah, the Orcs have definitely lost heart. There's only 2 shots coming out here. Hitting on 5s, he gets 1. And he's wounding on a 5 because it's only strength 7. But he does wound, right. Stop laughing at him because he did crack our armour before.
So he didn't want to fire too many shots, so
invulnerable 3 save again. But we make it this time, right? Is he going to fire it off again on a 2+?
You bet.
Right, here he goes then. Well, he's out of ammunition. So what a 1 means if he tries to roll it again is he's out of ammunition and he can't fire that gun for the remainder of the game.
D3 rockets.
I suppose that's what the double 1 is about. That was his last 2 shots. So what he's doing, he's firing super rockets here. So it's D3 shots. 2 shots from these. And he's missed them both. What a dipstick. He's finding it hard. Why's that there? So here comes the big shooters, the trusty big shooters, in massive number. There's 5 on board, so that's 15 shots. And here they come. So 5s. Oh, so he's got 4 6s in there. So with dagger, those 4 6s, you can get another 4 shots.
Yeah, 4.
So we'll take out the hits, so there's a good healthy amount of hits as well. And there's an extra 1. So quite a spread of hits there. But now he needs the 5s. These are actually going to turn out better, possibly, than the super shooter. Right, it says 3 wounds. It is better than the super shooter. I don't imagine it will be when the Orcs actually do get the new codex. We'll look forward to that date, and it's coming soon. So anyway, get back on with these shots. 3s to save. Oh, and yeah, the prophecy is true. They are better than the super shooter. 2 wounds on Romulus II. So, all powers to the big shooter. Right, the Gorgonaut, he's going to fire at Romulus II as well. He really doesn't like this guy. So this is the Deathstorm Mega Shooter, and he's got 12 shots. 12 shots with it. So it's the same profile almost as a assault cannon, so strength 6, AP -1. But he needs to get those hits first, so 5s to hit.
That's easy.
He's got 1, 2, just 2, and then needs 5s. He doesn't get any. Alright, 2 rockets, just off the cuff.
Yes,
so he's missed. And now for the main gun.
Things that really matter in the Orc world.
The main gun in the Orcs, it's time for the quad big shooters. So 12 shots from those. 5s needed.
That big shooters work.
See, what's that? 6 I can see. That was 5.
There we go.
Okay, so needing 5s now.
Oh,
No.
disappointing.
Alright, so that's all from him. Okay, so he's going to go for the Morgonaut now. He's going to shoot round the Stomper. He can see, there's a bit of the model you can see, Romulus. So you may be asking yourself, why is he keep firing at the Invulnerable 3 Knight? And that's just because the big shooters and the super gattlers would still only be threatening a 3+ save anyway. So he's just going after the main man who's taking the most wounds. Yeah. He's just trying to do...
He's just been awful.
Focusing his fire on the most damaged knight.
So
2 rockets off the cuff and fly away. Right, there's the
plasma.
That's not in range, so it's got to be the big one.
The big one.
So it's the custom blaster, I think it's called, or the custom mega blaster cannon. That one.
Mega cannon.
The big
heavy D6.
So it's heavy D6. It's like a plasma almost. So
just
3 shots, hitting on 5s, and it doesn't get any. But what he does get is a 1, which is a mortal wound to himself.
Ouch.
It's dealing in plasma. Right, so now onto the main guns, the quad big shooters.
Yay! Where would we be without them?
So the quad big shooters at Romulus, this is his Achilles heel, is big shooters in big number. The mixers want to think about taking the actual House Raven Warlord trait. So again, some good hits from the big shooter for an Orc. So 3 hits and 5 to wound. He gets 1. Always trust your big shooters. So need to save on a 3. Exactly. Right, so there's his 6th wound on Romulus II. He's ill-fated, just like his family member, his previous family member, bless his soul. Okay, charge phase for the Orks. The Stomper, he's going to lead the charge. What he's going to do, he's going to do a split charge, if it's still called that. I can't remember what it's called these days, but he's going to charge the Warglaive as the primary target. Secondary target is going to be the Gallant, so he's going to try and get both. So he will get overwatched by both. So we're going to do the Warglaive first. He's got his thermal spear in close range, so he's getting D3. So the full 3, we're needing 6s to hit. You get 1 hit. Wounds on a 4, it's a melter. We do get it. He does have an invulnerable 5 save, but he's still within the custom force field. Doesn't get it, so it's 2d6 damage. The best of, rather, of 2d6. So the 3 wounds he takes, he's got 3 tenacious survivor. He always gets 1. Weird. So 2 more wounds shaved off him. Then we've got the melter gun on top on a 6. Nope. And then we have the Knight Gallant. He's got the Storm Spear Rocket Pod. Doesn't get any. And then the Stubber gets 1. Into 6 again. And doesn't get that. Right, so he makes it through the Overwatch. It's time to charge. So he needs an 8 on the dice to get to the Warglaive. He needs a 10 on the dice to get to the Gallant as well. So here he goes. He gets an 8, so he's in on the Warglaive. Are you going to command point reroll that to try and get further?
No, we're happy with that.
Yeah, okay, that's about right. So he goes in on the Warglaive, and then so you'll go in that way, and then the Gorgonaut, he wants to go in as well. So we'll move the Stomper in and see what happens. Alright, so the Stomper's in. He's left a little gap because what he plans to do is consolidate or pile in before he fights 3 inches in, and that'll get him to the Gallant as well. So he's still going to be able to fight them both. And then he's going to, but before that happens, he's still going to finish the charge phase with the Gorgonaut. He's going to try and charge into the same Armiger. So he needs an 8 on the dice to make this.
Do it.
It's a
command reroll.
Right, command reroll. He's going to need another 4. And he doesn't get it to 7, denied at the last hurdle.
Scheiße.
So the Stomper will fight first. So he's going to, well, he's the only one to fight, but he will fight first. He's going to pile in 3 inches. He's going to end up closer to the Warglaive, and he'll get to the Gallant as well, so you can fight them both. Alright, so Zappa, he's going to smash with his big chopper, or his mega chopper, the Gallant. So he can fight it because he did declare it as one of his targets for charging, so he can fight it even with a pile-in, which normally he couldn't do if he didn't declare it as a charger. So just to get the rulesy bit out of the way, so he can fight and he's free to do so. So he's in a sorry state. He's not in the worst state, but he is. Stompers have 4 tiers, so he's on his 2nd tier, which means he's only hitting on 4s, but he still is strength 9. but that's times by 2 with the Mega Chopper, so he's actually a whopping 18 strength. So, yeah, so he's hitting on 4s in his wounded state, and he's got 4 attacks with a smash attack. So needs 4s, this is crucial.
Absolutely.
And it's a really good roll. He's got 3. Command point reroll, right? He's going to try and see the Gallant off here straight away.
Nope.
Okay, so that doesn't hit. So only 3 blows land. But because he's strength 18, it's a wound on 2s. So this is pretty much a surety here. What's he got for us? Oh, 1 goes astray. And he's already used the command point reroll. We do like to still keep some of the match play command point stuff in tow, right? So there's 2 blows. AP minus 5, you don't get any save at all, and it's 6 damage each. So 12 wounds on the Gallant's head, and he's already taken 1 already, so 13 wounds. He's got 11 left, the Gallant. Okay, so he's on 11 wounds left, which means the Knight Gallant is on his 2nd tier of damage, but he hits on 2s these days naturally, so since he's dropped the 2nd tier he's still hitting on 3s, which is quite respectable. And we can't do Machine Spirit Resurgent unless it's at the start of a turn, so we're just going to be hitting on 3s. We're not going to use the Gauntlet, we're going to use the Reaper Chainsaw because we need to hit him. So the Gallant, he's got 5 attacks, and because he's got a Warlord trait, because of that stratagem we used earlier, he's got 6 attacks because he's a Knight Centaur. So he's hitting on 3s with the Reaper Chainsaw, and he rerolls 1s because of his relic. He's got the Banner Inviolate. Okay, just 3 hits in the end, and we're wounded on 3s. Oh dear, we've only got 1. It's AP minus 3, so the Stomper will still get a save of a 6. Doesn't do it, and then it's a straight 6 damage, so he's going to need 6 Tenacious Survivor rolls for his Warlord trade. So he needs 6s. He always gets 1, so there's 5 wounds taken on the Stomper, just off the Gallant. He could have done better, but I mean, he stood strong in the face of a raging Stomper. Okay, the War Glaive, he's going to use his Reaper Chain Glaive. He's got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. We're going to use the heavy handed version. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. And we're going to reroll 1s because he's within 6 inches of the Gallant with the Banner Inviolate, which is the House Raven relic. Just hit them all. These are strength 12, I believe, so wound on 3s. They're all wound, he's done better than the Gallant. So these are AP minus 3, so he's saving on 6s still. Gets 1, but it's flat 3 damage each, so there's 9 wounds. He's going to have to save on his Warlord trait again, and he always gets 1. Can he get more? He gets 2 this time, so 7 wounds. Clipped his wings big time there. Okay, turn 2 for House Raven. So before we do anything, we've got to do the Orbital Debris twist. So we're going to see if more artillery comes in for the Imperial side. So 6s to get something going. Yes, we got 1. So we're going to select this Gorgonaut as the target for the D3 wounds, mortal wounds. Just 1, just takes a single mortal wound. Okay, House Raven failed that. This is a pivotal moment in the battle, so they've surged forward. Romulus II, he's going to tangle and mangle the Gorgonaut, hopefully. 1 Armiger's gone with him, and the other one stayed in combat because he's pretty good. And so has the Gallant. He's going to try and fight toe-to-toe with the Stomper, and if we're lucky, we might see the Death Grip from the Thunderstrike Gauntlet. The Gallant in the corner here, he's just staying put. We're going to try and pick off some of those Death Dreads, because they are very deadly, those Death Dreads. Can't assume they're just nobodies. They can do big damage. So we're going to see how the shooting phase goes. Okay, so here we go. First of all, we're doing the helm of the Dominatus helm, and we're going to help out this Armiger by selecting the Gorgonaut as the target. So we're going to hit on 2s against him with a Thermal Spear. Right, so here we go, Thermal Spear, D3 shots. Only getting 1, but we're hitting on 2s. But we've missed anyway, so the Melter Gun on top, we do hit. Needs a 4 because he's toughness 8. We do get it, so no save, but it's AP minus 4. And 2 dice, pick the best damage, because melter guns, pretty good. 5 damage on the Gorgonaut. Okay, Romulus II, he's going to do his thermal cannon over at the Morgonaut, and then the Storm Spear Pod and the Stubber at the Gorgonaut, because he's still got some wounds left. He's got 11 left. Hopefully we can beat him in combat. So we'll do the Storm Spear first, and they all hit. Very nice, Romulus. 5s to wound. Sorry, 4s to wound, but we'll still only get 1. So 7 on 5, got AP -2. What was that?
That's a 6.
Alright, save. Clean save. Then Stubbers. 1. None. Alright, then the Thermal Spear, it is in close range, so we will get full-blooded shots against the Morgonaut. So how many shots are we getting? The full 6. Wow. Okay. Big stuff. He doesn't normally perform well with his thermal cannon. Let's see if he does today. So 3s. Okay. And then 3s again. 3. Right, so you got invulnerable 5 saves because of the custom force field. Fails all 3. Right, this could be catastrophic for the Orks now. So 2d6, pick the best for the first shot. 6, and then again. 5, and then again. Another 5. Right, so he's taken 16 wounds. Right, that was a huge attack from the Thermal Spear. He's got 1 wound left because we did 16 damage, but he did take a wound because he wounded himself with his plasma. So he's got 1 wound left. He's ready to pop. He's ready to go. Can we see him gone? So we're going to fire the battle cannon at this Death Dread. We're going to fire the Super Gatler. It's not Super Gatler. It's the Avenger Gatling gun at the same one, and then we're going to fire all secondary weapons at the Morgonaut. See if we can clip his life short. So we're going to do the autocannons at him, hitting on 4s. We get 3 hits. We wound on 5s. We get 1 wound. You need to save on a 4 or it's all over for that Morgonaut. He gets it right. See if we can peg him with Stubbers now. The final insult. Okay, all but 1 hit. And then troubling part is 6s now. Nope, not a sausage. Alright, so we're going to go for the battle cannon now at the Death Dread. See what we get. 6 shots. 3s to hit. 3 hits, and then 3s to wound. 3 wounds, right. So 7 on 5s. Fails 2, makes 1. So these have got 8 wounds, just like most dreadnoughts, so D3 each time. So we got 3, 5 in total. So we've got 3 wounds left. I think the Avenger cannon should be more than enough to end it. 3 wounds left. So we'll get some 12 dice together. 3s to hit. So 3 miss. And then strength 6, we're needing 5s, but again 6s are mortal wounds in addition. Right, so we've got 3 wounds on him and 1 mortal wound. So he's only got 2 wounds left now with that mortal wound. So he's going to need to save 3 hits on 5s. So it's AP -2. No, that's it. He's gone. On a 6, he'll explode, which could actually take the Morgonaut with him. That would be a big bada boom. Doesn't explode. Right, that was a massive shooting phase for House Raven, just totally taking the Orks to school there. So it's on to charges now. We're going to best them in their own dedicated phase. So we're going to have this knight go in on the Gorgonaut first, and then we'll probably do the Armiger into the Morgonaut. See if we can just end the Orks right here, right now. Alright, we're going to have the Gorgonaut fire first, 3d6 on his Overwatch, so he's going to fire 9 shots. So Overwatch isn't particularly a bad phase for the Orks, because it's not far away from what they're hitting with anyway.
So 1?
So 1 hit, strength 6, needing a 5, doesn't get it. 2 rockets, off the cuff, literally. Oh, he's going to do the big shooters, he's gearing up. Oh, he's not. Here comes the rocket. No hits from the rockets, and then the big shooters.
Not from
don't get anything. But you do have a belly-mounted Scorcher. So D6 from that. So 4, used a big dice because he wants big numbers. And then 5's to wound, gets 1. Right, so 7 on a 4 here, gets AP -1. We do get that save, right, so he's going to be in, there's no way we can fill that charge. So there he goes. Watch him go. Right, and then the Armiger, he's going to go into the Morgonaut, so he's going to need 7 on the dice because he's 8 inches away. So again, this is dangerous firepower, but he could explode if he rolls a 1 in Overwatch.
Rockets.
Misses with the rockets, right. Now it's time for the big shooters. Right, big shooters. 3 hits.
In the crater.
No wounds. Right.
We're not going to kill ourselves with the plasma weapons.
Yeah, so he's electing not to fire the plasma weapons, which we don't blame him because he's only got 1 wound left. He's got an equal chance of killing himself as he has to just even getting a hit on the Armiger. So we've made it through the Overwatch with the Armiger. He's going to need a 7 on the dice to get there. What a hero, gets an 11. Okay, so we're going to start the fighting with Romulus himself. So he's got 4 attacks. He's going to try and come to blows with his Reaper Chainsword. So he's hitting on 3s versus that Gorgonaut. Gets 3 hits. He is strength 16. I think he's wound on 3s because he's toughness 8. All wound, and these are AP -3, so you still get a save. So you're going to need 3 dice, and you're going to need 6s. Doesn't get any, right, so it's 6 damage apiece. He just cleaves it in twin. Does it explode? Does it try and take his life? No, he doesn't. So the Gorgonaut's down. It's starting to crumble for the Orks in a massive way. Right, we're going to move on to the other charges. The Orks can't intervene at all. Okay, so the Orks have only got 1 command point left, so they can't play any intervene stratagem to jump the queue in the fight phase here, which will be golden opportunity to do it. But it's not to be. So here we go. The punishment will continue, and we will smile while we do it. So the Avenger, he's going to do his heavy-handed blow. So 4 attacks, 3s needed. Gets 2, and he's going to wound on 3s. He doesn't get any. He's duffed it. That's bad news. He only had 1 wound left. He had the golden opportunity just to finish him off, and it hasn't happened. We could do a command point reroll. Do we do a command point reroll to see him off there, or do we save it for the gauntlet? I would love to do the gauntlet, but the chances of it even coming off are slim. And we could just end the Orks here, right now. So we're going to use a command point to reroll one of those wounds.
Nasty.
Going to play nasty here. It's just because we lost the last time. So on a 3. Right, he's going to need a 6 to save. If he gets it, he deserves to live.
Yeah, I'll have to get a big dice for this one.
So here we go.
Big
Needs a 6.
Dice.
It's a 3. It's a big dice. He tried his best. Does he explode? You've got 1 more chance to roll a 6 and get something out of this. So it needs a explosion roll. No. Alright, both god machines have fallen. The Orks are looking in a really bad way here. Okay, we're coming over to this fight now. These are the static fights to go. So we're going to use the Gallant. He's going to use his... we'll be hitting on 4s if we use the fist because we're damaged. Hitting on 3s if we use the Reaper Chainsword. He's still in a good condition, the Stomper, relatively. He's got 16 wounds left. And we've got 6 attacks. I'll tell you what, we're going to use the fist because it'll be cool. Because we'll wound on 2s as well. So okay, hitting on 4s. Here we go. 1 fell off the table, but we've got 4 hits. That's a good start. That's probably the best thing we could have hoped for there. 2s to wound. Right, there's 3 wounds, and it's AP -4. I'll double check. Alright, so with 3 blows to the god machine's head, or its turret, whatever it is, it's 18 damage massive stuff. So he's going to have to make 3 saves at least to stay alive. So here we go.
Yeah. 6s.
He always gets 1. Can he get 3? Whoa! Well, there's 1, 2, and there's 5 6s a load. So he's absorbed 7. So what was that? He's taken 11 wounds. He's got 5 wounds left. Well, we thought that was the end of him there. But his grots on board are just, there they are at the back, just gluing the panels back on. They will not go quietly. Alright, Zappa, he's on his last legs. He's got 5 wounds left, and he's enraged. He's going to try and slap down the Warglaive before he gets a chance to fight. So he's got 4 attacks still, but he's wounded. He's trying to hit on 6s now, which is
blind
a big blow.
desperation.
But if he gets 2 6s,
he doesn't get anything.
no, right. There's a chance that he could have just wiped the Armiger out straight away, but not to be. So the Armiger will fight back. Could he be the one? If he breaks down a Stomper here, he could find himself in a Knight chassis the next time. He could be upgraded and find his heroics worthy. So here we go. He's got 4 attacks. He's using his heavy-handed attack, hitting on 3s. And we can reroll 1s because he's still got the banner in violet. Here we go. So he's hit 3 times. So we're going to wound on 3s. This could be it. Right, we've wounded with them all. Right, he's going to need saves of 6 here. He's a master of rolling 6s, was Zappa.
You're not that good.
It's 3 damage each, even if you can block 1 of these. So you need 3 dice and you need 6s.
Whoa,
He's got
nearly.
1, so that's 6 damage taken that he's going to have to do his Warlord trait against. If Tenacious Survivor, no, he saved 1 of them. It was a good effort.
5.
But that's the
That's all
5
I've got.
that he needed. So he's gone down,
Bang.
but will he go big bang? Let's have a look on a 6.
Crushing green dice. No.
No, it's not a B. So the Stomper goes down quietly as
Chat reroll.
as that chain glaive just buries deep in his belly, hits the reactor, but cuts the pipe and not the actual engine, so it doesn't go boom. So there we go, the Stomper goes down. So it's Orcs turn 3. It's the last roll of the dice for the Orcs.
That's a rear guard action by the Orks. The cans are going to diddle off. And the Dreadnought's going to live up to his expectations.
So the Orcs are going to provide 1 more time of supporting artillery to try and have the cans escape under the cover.
Yeah, the cans are going to run away shooting. And the Dread's going to, well,
Okay, well the Dread's going to have a last stand against
lost
the...
hurrah for the Dread.
Alright, so the Orcs need to do their orbital debris, so that's going to signify the Orcs artillery. They get 1, so who's going to be the victim of this artillery strike?
Who's got the most wounds? This guy.
Well, he's taken the most wounds, he's got 11 left.
Yeah, bugging on.
Okay, so the Gallant's going to be the subject of pain, so D3, it's just the 1. Alright, so he's got 10 wounds left, the Gallant. Okay, moving phase for the Orcs. It's a very short turn now that the destruction has been wholesale. The cans have turned around and they're going to run away, but they're going to fire a parting shot at the at Romulus II.
Still have that honour amongst Grots.
Yeah, the Grots have seen enough.
Big shooter at the...
They're not sentimental about the Orcs, they're just going to run away now.
No.
So the big shooter's missed,
Forget
and
about
the Grotzook is
Forget
out
about
of range. But the Killer can, he just fancies his chances against this Armiger, that's what he's born to fight.
Well,
So he's going to go against him, and then word has it that amongst the Orks, that Zappa might have stolen away into the shadows. He's so small in the shadows, maybe the Knights don't see him. So he might escape through the sewerage and just crawl out of the shit, literally. So we've got the Death Dread on the last hurrah. He's going to charge in.
Yeah.
Do we smoke him in the Overwatch? So
It's going to give him a locked embrace.
The Thermal Spear, 2 shots. There's no mercy for these Orks, not after the sullied our honour. So no hits from the Thermal Spear, and the melter gun does not hit either. So now in goes that eager Death Dread. So the Death Dread will fight first. He's got 6 attacks, and he's hitting on 3s. He's hit them all. He's enraged about the loss of all these mighty vehicles. Okay, so the Death Dread, he's wounded on 3s because he's strength 10 with those blades.
Don't like you.
He gets them all. Perhaps he should have been in the stun, but this guy is serious. That's why we didn't like the Death Dreads, try to take them out, because they can do this. So it's AP -3, so save on 6s. We make 2 and fail 4, and it does 3 damage each. That will kill us stone dead.
Whoa!
So if we lost an Armiger, does he explode? Yes, he does.
Shoot.
He goes out in a blaze of glory. He will not let this Xenos filth take any more lives without penance. So D3 wounds, so it's just the 1 on the Death Dread. Okay, so it's turn 3. It's turn 3, or is it 4?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, it's the last turn for the Knights because the cans have run away, and now this Death Dread is going to go out in a blaze of glory. He's killed the little brother of the Knights, and now he's going to reap the whirlwind. So let's see if we get the artillery to kill him first. And still, okay, so no artillery. We do not want the artillery to steal the glory from House Raven.
Yeah.
That's why that was significant.
None of them are man enough to come in hand to hand. So I was going to shoot them.
Oh, we'll be coming in hand to hand, don't worry about it. So, who should we give the honour of felling this foul creature? It's got to go to Romulus. He's the man. So here we go. The Thermal Spear is getting 1 shot. 1 shot is all we need. But he's missed. So, Thermal Spear, all 3 hit. 3s to wound, gets 1 wound. Needs to save on 5. Just going to make the Orc suffer here. 6d6 damage. He takes 5 damage. So he's got 1 wound. No, he's got 2 wounds left.
2 wounds left.
So the stubber. Humble him with a stubber. 5s to wound. No. And then we'll go for the Armiger now. He's going to try and take him out for taking out his brother. Melter gun. Hits. Does wound. No save. So 2d6 damage. And he's out of there.
Ooh.
He's out of there. So let's see if he goes pop, because there are 3 Knights around him. See if he can just get some glory.
Bang!
He does. Alright, so let's assume it's just D3 wounds for all the Knights around. But it still wouldn't kill anyone, because the Knight is still strong there.
But what a joyous death.
What a joyous
Glorious
death. At least it's nice to see the Orcs come away with some spite. So,
Man of the match.
Yeah, so he will be leading the next Stomper probably.
Yeah, he's going to get converted into a Stomper.
Yeah, but Zappa still lives in the shadows there. The Knights have advanced forward, they've missed the opportunity. They think he's dead in the wreck. Will he come back? He won't be coming back unless he's got a shiny new codex, that's for sure. But I think House Raven have definitely reclaimed the honour there. The Orcs are on the run. They've lost their mighty war machine.